Good evening and welcome to the third spring showcase of the weekend. My name is John Williams. I'm the conductor of the collegiate bands that you'll hear tonight. And as well, you'll hear tonight from the Symphonic band under the direction of Professor Matthew Conaway. We're so happy to have you, and what a year it's been together. Just a couple, one housekeeping thing as we get going. In the description of this live stream, there is a link to our program. And there you can see what we're going to play, rosters, the name of your favorite person, all that good stuff. There's a lot to get to tonight, so I'm not going to talk for too much, but I do want to say one thing. I've been working with these collegiate bands this semester, and I want to just make a statement here that it has been one of the greatest privileges that I've had. We've had to split this class in two. They're a big group, and so half the time they're meeting by themselves in their section. Half the time they're with me. And as a director, as a teacher, as an educator, any educators that might be listening to me, you don't always know what's going to happen in those rooms. And in both groups, they have done a tremendous, tremendous job working, getting better. There are times when I would find something that didn't work well, and I'd think, I need to go back there next week and work on that. And then by the time I got there next week, they were done. They'd already been there. They'd already worked on it. It already sounded great. So big, big thank you right out front to everybody in the collegiate bands for their hard work. We're going to get rolling here with Collegiate Band B. This is the second hour of my course. And our first tune is Overture to a New Horizon by Robert Sheldon. And this piece is meant to commemorate the New Horizons band, essentially adult community type bands, learning how to play an instrument at maybe later in life. This is a song kind of dedicated to that. All right, thank you so much. next piece this evening is Front and Center by Robert Buckley. And this is kind of a one movement in a larger work attributed to Arthur Delmont, a well-known band director who was based in, who grew up in England, moved to Canada, and then started this band program that people joined of very young age, and it became this very popular thing, such that they won awards, traveled to Europe, all this kind of fame. And the truth of it is, Robert Buckley was in that band and traveled with that band to Europe. And so this is written sort of in honor of this band that he loves and enjoys. Here's Front and Center by Robert Buckley. Our third piece tonight will be Amazing Grace by Frank Tico. And this piece, I think it's best to just use his own words from the program notes. I don't know that I could have made them any different or said it any different than he probably intended it. So here are the words from Frank Tico himself. I wanted my setting of Amazing Grace to reflect the powerful simplicity of the words and melody, to be sincere, to be direct, to be honest, and not through the use of novel harmonies and clever tricks, but by traveling traditional paths in search of truth and authenticity. I believe that music has the power to take us to a place that words alone cannot. Here is Frank Tico's Amazing Grace. our fourth piece tonight is really another classic Sousa march known as the Pathfinder of Panama. Pathfinder in this sense doesn't refer to a person, but the Panama Canal and the path it sort of cut through to the other side. Sousa's band actually had a 9-week engagement at the Panama Expo, I believe, playing various marches, and this is one of the ones that they prepared for that. Sousa's got like a mile-long list of great marches, but this is probably up there as one of the better ones. So without further ado, the Pathfinder of Panama. we play our last tune tonight, before we play our last tune, we've got to take care of a couple things. One, I'd like to announce the outstanding member for this ensemble. Now, I will admit to you, this is a tough call. In a semester where we're asking students to do more and more and more than they've ever done before, especially with this group where they are doing things outside of full ensemble all the time, some of them taking on various leadership roles unexpectedly. This is no easy thing. But I was able to narrow it down. So I'm just going to have this person stand, and we could talk about getting you your certificate afterward. But the outstanding member for Collegiate B this semester is Brian Adams. Go ahead and stand. Give him a hand. Thank you. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, one more thing. We're going to have our seniors come up. This is the last time some of our members are going to be able to play with the Purdue groups. So seniors, why don't you come on up and kind of stand here in the front like we worked on. And I'm actually going to mute this for a minute just so I can verify a few things, but I will be right back with you. Wanted to make sure. Okay, well, we're going to start. Let me step back here. We're going to start over on the left. Over here on our leftmost side is Hannah Boland, and she's going to be graduating with a degree in agricultural engineering, and she plans to actually continue her graduate studies here at Purdue. We're going to hold our applause until we get through all of them. As you see, there's a long list in this band, and actually in the other band as well, so just hold your applause, but that's Hannah. Next up, Andrew Kaldemeyer, who will be graduating with a degree in animal science and a minor in biological sciences and wildlife sciences. And he will also be going into graduate studies here after Purdue. Next up, Jake Harris. His degree is in computer science and data science both. And he's going to be a software developer with Epic Systems, so very cool. Next up, Ross McBride with a degree in mechanical engineering technology. And he's looking for a manufacturing and quality engineering job in the Indy and Chicago area. Call him. Next up, David Mesmer, graduating with a degree in atmospheric science, and he is going right into the workforce. So congratulations, David. Next, Nathan Mueller, and he is getting a degree in industrial engineering and a minor in management, and he'll be moving to Chicago to do strategy consulting. That sounds awesome. Next up, Jenna Palka, a degree in civil engineering with a minor in Spanish and global engineering, and she's planning to work for Emerson Electric in their engineers in leadership program. Beside her, Jamie Reed, animal science, animal agribusiness concentration, and she'll be going right into animal research, starting with swine nutrition. Beside her, Sarah Guy. She'll be graduating with a degree in civil engineering, and she'll be full-time work here soon enough. Beside her, if you wouldn't mind waving, Catherine Snyder, just so we can keep track. Yeah, and she'll be graduating with a degree in wildlife and going into vet school after this. So she's got more school ahead. Next, second to last, Kevin Papamarcos, and he's getting a degree in finance, and he'll be full-time working after this. And finally, Jeffrey Grimm with a degree in computer graphic technologies, and he's going straight into game development. I know that was a long list, so now you've got to give 8, 10, 12's worth of applause for these great seniors. Go ahead. Congratulations. And thank you. Okay, we're going to finish up this band with Summer Nights by Robert W. Smith. This is a piece I found, and I thought, you know what? That sounds like a lot of fun. And it turns out it is. And it's something that students have really enjoyed playing. For a band director, you're always looking for the piece that is going to challenge them, educate them, but also that they're really excited about, and this was them. I was talking at the beginning this about coming back to things and they're solved. There's a part in the middle of this where I heard it the first time and I went, uh-oh. The next week, I was blown away. And that is not a testament to my work, but a testament to theirs and their excitement. So thank you so much. We're going to have a brief little break after they get done with this piece, and then I'll be right back with Collegiate Band, the first hour, Collegiate Band A. So stick around, okay? Thank you. Welcome back. For those of you just joining us, my name is John Williams, and I'm the director of the collegiate bands, including the one in front of you now, Collegiate Band A, the first hour of collegiate band. I explained this earlier, but just real quick, for this class we have 2 bands in the span of 2 hours. One of them meets for 1 hour, while the other one does sectionals. The other one, then we switch. And that's sort of how that works and has worked throughout the semester. And the students honestly have done a tremendous job with it. It's sort of in some ways changed how I think about how to do sectionals in full ensemble and maybe where those priorities are best put. But just again, one more thing, if you're just joining us, check in the description for a link to the concert program. There you can find what we're going to play, the order, roster, your favorite person, all that stuff. Collegiate Band A is going to start out tonight with the Charleston Harbor Celebration by Robert Sheldon. This was commissioned by the Charleston Community Band to honor both previous band directors, but also the historic Charleston Harbor, of which is his namesake. So here is Collegiate Band A opening their concert with Charleston Harbor Celebration. Collegiate A's second piece tonight is Meta March by Stephen Bryant. And this is another piece that's a part of a larger work called the Parody Suite. And the purpose of the Parody Suite is to essentially take well-known music that any concert band player has been playing for years and years and sort of change it, meld it. One way to think about it, it's nothing that he wrote, but I sort of think about it as a caricature, in a way, of the style. Not in any kind of disrespectful sense, but in just all the ways that you think about a character. Representative, but not quite, but representative, right? All that kind of stuff. You know, one of the things, I think there are now 4 pieces in total in Stephen Bryant's Parody Suite, and each one kind of centers around a different style. So this one centers around a march. And I will tell you, this piece is what we call a stretch piece. It's a piece you put in front of a band and you say, I dare you to play this. I dare you. And this band met that call. They met that challenge. So I'm excited to play for you, and these guys are to Meta March by Stephen Bryant. Our next piece is entitled Blue and Green Music by Samuel R. Hazo. The interesting story about this piece is that it's a piece of music, follow me here, it's a piece of music composed about a piece of art that was created because of a piece of music. So it's got this circular thing. Georgia O'Keeffe's Blue and Green Music hangs today in the Chicago Institute of Art, and this piece is based on that, and her work was based on a piece of music itself. So it's got this circular motion. It's very interesting, and I wonder who's going to now create the artwork based on this music work. We'll find out. But here is Blue and Green Music by Hazel. fourth piece tonight is Urban Dances by Eric Morales. And this is a piece of music that borrows some of its rhythms from popular music. This is never a conversation I don't necessarily think I've had with them, but the syncopated da-da-dee-da-da-da that you'll hear among other rhythms are rhythms that you hear all the time in popular music. And one of the challenges that Eric Morales stated as he was composing this is, how do I integrate these rhythms and keep it to be a serious work? So that was sort of the challenge that he set out to do, and I think this is sort of a time-tested standard. I think he managed successfully to do it. So here's Urban Dances by Eric Morales. before we play our last tune, we have a couple pieces of business to go through. First thing is awarding an outstanding member award. And one of the things that I said in the last group, but if you weren't here, you may not have heard it, is that this semester is so tough to pick just one. So much so that with this group, I'm picking two because I just could not decide. But all of them with the extra they're giving every rehearsal. Look at them. This is not normal, what they're doing. This is much extra, a lot extra. The sectionals, all the leadership, I could give all of them an award, and I would be happy to do so, and it would be earned. However, this time I actually have two people, and we're going to have these people stand, and one of them wave because he's standing right now. Spoiler alert. First off, I'd like to award Ian Osterman. Go ahead and stand up, Ian. Ian's in our French horn section. Give him a round of applause for his great work in the horn section. And then I'd like Matthew. Where are you at, bud? Wave at us, Matthew. Matthew Vaughn in the percussion section. Give him a big round of applause. What he does back there is amazing, amazing, amazing. Congratulations to you both. Get with me after about a certificate and all that. Okay, the last thing is to honor our seniors. Just like in the previous concert, I'm going to step back here. Seniors, come on up, and I'm going to take a moment just to verify I've got all my ducks in a row, and I'll be back. So seniors, come on up to the front right now. Wonderful. Okay, so, all of these people up in front of you are going through the average college things that everybody's going through. They're going to class, they're going to other social clubs, they're involved with this and that, and they work, many of them. But also, they're putting in, each year, hundreds of hours in band. 4, 5, 8, 9, 10 hours a week into band. And to do that for 4 years and have that on your record as something that you've accomplished is amazing. So we're going to start over here on our right with our first senior, and that's Cameron McGugan. He's going to be graduating with a degree in electrical engineering, a minor in management, and he'll be interning at Lafarge, is that right? Wholesome in Maryland, and then redshirting in the A&B. I didn't know that we could redshirt in the A&B, but that's great to have you. Next up, Philip Nicole. And he is going to be graduating with a degree in robotics engineering technology, and he'll be working at Dyer as a automation engineer. Pretty cool. Here, Rachel Nielsen, graduating with a degree in environmental and ecological engineering with a minor in environmental politics and policy. And she's going to be working as an environmental engineer to protect water resources and improve sustainability. That's a great cause. Next, Ian Osterman. He's going to be graduating with a degree in computer science and a minor in psychology. And he's going to be going for his master's in computer graphics technology here at Purdue. Next up, Nathan Petruzek. And he's going to be graduating with a degree in computer engineering. He'll be moving to Boston to work for Amazon Web Services. Cool, cool. Finally, Zach Bolgaten. He's going to be graduating with a degree in actuarial science and applied statistics, a minor in management, and will be moving to Omaha, Nebraska, and working as an actuarial assistant. Give these 6 times worth of applause, these seniors. Give them a big round of applause, please. Thank you all so much for your dedication to our department. Thank you. Finishing up the collegiate bands part of this program, we'll be playing Goddess of Fire, a piece by Stephen Reinecke. This is a piece that was composed based on sort of Hawaiian lore about Pele, the volcano goddess, the creator and destroyer. And I think you're going to hear a lot of those influences, and you'll hear moments that sound like creation, and you'll hear moments that sound like destruction. There's a lot of variance in this piece. After we're finished, there's going to be a quick little, 5 or so minute interruption, and then the symphonic band's coming up under the direction of Professor Matthew Conway. Please stick around for that. That's going to be phenomenal, so you better not miss it, okay? Thank you so much for having us. Thank you to these students and these students out here for having me as your director. And here's Goddess of Fire, Stephen Reinecke.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being with us as we present the final concert band performance of this semester. The Symphonic Band's program spans over 100 years of musical styles and genres here, and we're beginning with the oldest of the bunch, this 1899 composition by Jean Sibelius entitled Finlandia. The original working title of this was Finland Awakes, and it was written as part of kind of a covert protest against censorship from the Russian Empire. And in fact, this piece was censored as well, and it had to go with other titles for a few years. One of them was even called A Scandinavian Choral March, not to give any kind of credence to Finland as its own independent nation. The beautiful melody that you'll hear in the second half of this work is often thought of to be a traditional folk song and has been given a hymn song, a set of English lyrics as well, Be Still My Soul. But in fact, this was an original work by Sibelius, and that became his most beloved musical legacy. Please enjoy the Purdue Symphonic Band's performance of Finlandia. Thank you very much. We go from the oldest piece on the program now to the most recently composed work. The word apotheosis is defined as the elevation to divine status. But for the composer of this work, Catherine Saalfelder, this word is not taken literally, but rather defining an internal hell of repeatedly trying and failing to obliterate parts of oneself that one has deemed undesirable in an attempt to meet others' expectations. So the apotheosis in this case is the joy, beauty, and peace that comes with being true to who one is rather than who one thinks one ought to be, and finding the calm to listen, the strength to believe, and the courage to be. This piece is powerfully angry at times. There are some moments of almost unbearably suppressed tension. And while at the end there's an ultimate resolution of peace, we finally arrive in major harmony at the end, there are still some unsettling musical elements right up to the end that suggest that there can always be a struggle to accept who one truly is. This is Apotheosis by Catherine Saalfelder. sometimes the only way to follow a piece of music like that is just with something simple, unpretentious, and completely beautiful. And that's what we have prepared for you right now. The title of our next work is Rest, and it comes from Sarah Teasdale's work, There Will Be Rest, a gorgeous and serene poem from a rather tortured soul. But this particular setting by Frank Ticelli, the choral version remains a really highly acclaimed and frequently performed work, and he did his own setting for the concert band that largely stays true to that choral version, but provides one additional rich and glorious final statement of the melody before retreating into the final relaxed conclusion, where the music paints the text, "Above me, stars I shall find." This is Rest by Frank Ticelli on a poem by Sarah Teasdale. to thank our beloved Purdue Bell Tower for providing the perfect conclusion to that piece. That couldn't have gone any better. Tico-Tico no Fuba is a Brazilian choro song by Zequinha de Abreu, written in 1917. The title roughly translates into Sparrow in the Cornmeal. It's almost a nonsense piece of music. And this particular piece remained just remarkably popular through the 1940s and has continued to be heard in many settings today. One of the most famous versions of this song was performed by Carmen Miranda in the 1947 film Copacabana. This one's as much of a toe tapper as anything I programmed in the last few years, and hopefully you'll enjoy it so much that you'll forgive me for committing the cardinal sin of being a band director, and that is not programming a march on a concert. I think that's the first time in my entire Purdue career I see a few horn players applauding out there. But in any case, this piece is delightful, catchy beyond belief. I know you'll be singing it later on tonight too. This is Tico-Tico. The Broadway musical Fiddler on the Roof opened in 1964 to widespread acclaim and ran for an unbelievable 3,242 Broadway performances in the original run. That was a Broadway record at the time. And the original West End production in London opened 3 years later. That ran for over 2,000 performances. Few shows in the history of musical theater have been so beloved, and the music remains timeless. And as a personal note, this was the first musical where I ever stood in front of a pit orchestra and directed, right after I moved to town with Lafayette Civic Theater. So, little personal connection on this one too. The setting that you're going to hear focuses only on a few of the dozens of songs from that show. You'll hear some snippets of Tradition, the Bottle Dance, the Perchik and Huddle Dance, the Hava Sequence, and finally, To Life. This is Symphonic Dances from Fiddler on the Roof. Can we please have our graduating seniors come forward? It's always a question I wait kind of till the end of the semester to ask. But it was always the question of just how many seniors do we have in this band? I'm always curious, but I don't want to give that away a little bit too early, I guess, to myself. And I was floored that this is probably the youngest band I've had in my history at Purdue from top to bottom. And with 6 graduating students out of this band, who, most of whom have been playing in our department since they were freshmen, or in some cases joined us a little bit later. But I want to take the opportunity to recognize these incredible people standing here on the edge of the stage. Please hold your applause till the end. First up, Elizabeth Mossel, a clarinet player from Indianapolis, Indiana, majoring in kinesiology and pre-physician assistant. Lindsay Moy, a French horn player from Newburgh, Indiana, majoring in mechanical engineering technology. Brandon Reed, alto saxophone from Brownsburg, Indiana, majoring in aeronautical and astronautical engineering. Brendan Rowe, a trombone player from Tinley Park, Illinois, majoring in industrial engineering. Matthew Sheena Graham, a bass trombone player from San Diego, California, majoring in economics. And finally, Tyler Swedes, a trumpet player from Cincinnati, Ohio, about to receive his master's degree in mechanical engineering. Folks, there's a lot of talent sitting here on the edge of this stage, and they deserve every bit of applause that you're going to give them right now. Congrats, seniors. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Yeah, you're good. We also recognize, all of our ensembles recognize our outstanding performers, our outstanding band members, and the criteria varies from ensemble to ensemble, also from semester to semester. And in a semester like this, in a year like this, when everyone is so far apart, you can't really get to know people to the same degree that you do in a normal year because, frankly, you're staying 6 feet apart all the time. And you can't always see the faces. Sometimes it's the things that happen outside of the rehearsal setting that really demonstrate how outstanding some of these students are. And this particular student that I'm going to recognize right now is someone who not only has provided excellent performance skills, in fact, this individual has been in my band an awful lot over the years, but someone who also can provide outstanding musical leadership. This person is overseeing right now the best overall saxophone section that I've ever had in any of my bands. And then this person is highly involved in the department, marching band leadership, a member of Boiler Brass, serving our department in any number of ways. And among a group of 65 outstanding individuals, I'm pleased to recognize this semester's outstanding member of the Symphonic Band, Brandon Reed. There are so many thank yous at the end of a concert like this. First, I would like to thank all the members of the Hall of Music production crew for not only hosting us in this incredible venue, but also taking care of all of our live streaming needs over the course of this year. When we're not allowed to have a full-size live audience, this is the best way that we can get our product out to everyone here, and they have done a fantastic job for us. So thank you to Hall of Music Productions. I'd also like to thank all the members of our volunteer management teams, as well as our service fraternity and sorority, Kappa Kappa Psi and Tau Beta Sigma, for everything that they do to support our department. This literally takes thousands and thousands of hours of volunteer service to run all of this. We have a wonderful faculty and staff, but we absolutely cannot do this ourselves. So thank you to the VMTs and the chapters. A big thank you goes out to the conductors who always give their time to help out with balance and sound checks. During all of this, I know that we had Dr. Sweet, Professor Fletcher, and Mr. Williams out here in the audience, as well as a huge thank you to Dr. Pamela Nave, who handles all the percussion needs of our ensembles, as well as performing at least on 1 or 2 pieces for nearly every concert that has gone on this weekend. So again, thank you to everyone on our faculty and staff. And finally, I'd like to thank the students of the Purdue Symphonic Band seated behind me. Your incredible work this semester, for your incredible talent, the personality that still was able to shine through these masks, your commitment to making music throughout these incredibly challenging times, and you've done so well, and I'm so proud. The best thing that you can do, if there's any thank yous that need to go the other direction, you can thank me by keeping playing after you're done here at Purdue. by keeping playing while you're still here at Purdue. You have so many musical gifts, and it would kill me to know that this might be the end of it for some of you in terms of your playing. We'll connect you to a community band or orchestra, I guarantee you that. But you owe that to yourself. You're too good to stop. In any case, before I get too emotional here, we'll close tonight with a reminder that there is still one more performance as part of our showcase weekend, and that concert is tomorrow afternoon at 2:30 Eastern, featuring all the students in the Purdue Orchestras. We have two string groups representing the Purdue Symphony Orchestra and the Purdue Philharmonic. That concert will be live streamed starting at 2:30 tomorrow afternoon. And we'll close our concert tonight with a driving and exciting work called American Faces. Composer David Holsinger says that this work was written to musically allude to the various qualities and standards that make up the faces of America. But it is not a patriotic montage. It's rather an overture of diverse themes, some original, some borrowed, each conveying the composer's impression of the American exuberance, pioneering spirit, and underlying faith.